Hello everyone, welcome. Thank you for joining me. In this session, we're going to focus on what's called a deadlift and an overhead press. I'm using a pair of 5-pound weights. You can use whatever weight load works best for you. You don't need to use any weights to be successful. We're also going to start on a wall or a countertop or a piece of furniture that's stable and supportive. So let's start there. I'm going to use the wall to start. My hands are about shoulder distance wide and about shoulder distance high, and I'm leaning slightly forward from my ankles through the front of my head on an incline towards the wall. All they're going to do, you're going to bend your knees a bit, press the wall forward, and push the hips back. Think of lifting your tailbone up to the sky behind you like a ski jump or a duck's tail. And then return forward and try and straighten the knees. That's all you do. Give your knees a little bend, but it's more about sending the hips back in space, lifting your tailbone up to the sky. Your chest goes towards the floor. Look down to the floor with your face. And then return to that incline. And again, bend knees a smidge, but it's more about the hips going back and your body leaning forward, hinging at the hip. Breathe deeply. And then return, look between your hands there. Again, easy, bend your knees a bit, stretch the hips back, tailbone to the sky, leaning back. Return. If that's too hard on your shoulders, you can have your hands a little further apart. That will make it less aggressive on your shoulder. Easy, breathe, gentle, rotate. Easy. Also, don't send the hips back so far or chest is low. You have 5 more to go. Give your knees a little bend. Hips go back. Tailbone to the sky. Lengthen. Reach out to the crown of your head. 5. Again. Tailbone and head reach across the room on opposite sides. Breathe deeply. Reaching and lengthening. Return. 4. 3 more. Great job. Hips go back. Knees give a little bend. Stretch and lengthen. Very good job. And then return. 3. 2 more. Again, give your knees a small bend. Keep your whole foot, both feet on the floor. And then return. 2. One more time. Again, hips go back, lean back, knees give a little bend. A really good job. And then return. Excellent work. Now, feel free to stay next to the wall on the side or facing the wall, right? We're going to do the same thing with less support. Arms start down by your side. Again, it's a small bend in knees. You send the hips back and you lean your body forward. You return, push down to stand tall. Knees bend, body leans forward. You can let your hands be on your hips or arms just dangle forward and push up tall. 9. This is in case you're not familiar with it, but it's also a nice warm-up. First, we did it with a lot of assistance from the wall, encouraging range of motion. 8. Now we're adding our ability to do without support from the wall, increasing our proprioception, ability to know where your body is in space without looking at it. Breathe deeply. 7. Again, it's not about how low your body can go. Reach your tailbone back, your spine stays nice and long. Breathe deeply. 6. You can also do it with little straighter legs if you want to. Breathe deeply. A small bend is okay. 5. Easy. The knees bend a little bit. The degree of bending is your choice, as long as the hips go back and body goes forward. 4. Take your time. Hips sit back, way back with those hips. Great job. And then return. 3. 2 more to go. Sit those hips back. Easy. Gentle. Take your focus with you. Where your chest faces, your face goes as well. Where your chest is looking, that's where your face and eyes look as well. Breathe deeply. Let's do one more time. Again, easy. Give those knees a bend. Reach your tailbone back behind you towards the sky. You got it. And stand up nice and tall. Now I'm going to add a pair of weights. Right? Now we're increasing the load. You don't have to use the 5 pounds I'm using in each hand. You can use whatever weight works for you. You can also use one weight between both hands as well. Right? It's the same thing. Bend your knees. Hips sink back. You lean forward. Breathe deeply. Push to stand up tall. 10. Great job. Easy. Sit back. Lean forward. Let the arms just dangle down with the weights. Push the floor down to return. 9. Hips go back. Give those knees a bend. Keep the whole foot on the floor. Reach out to the crown of your head. Breathe deeply. And push. 8. Again, hips sink back. Easy. Breathe. Control. Good, everyone. Push up nice and tall. 7. Very good job. Give those knees a bend. Sit back. Hold on the floor. Take the focus with you. Breathe deeply. 6. Really powerful. Make sure your knees are tracking forward. They're not going toward each other or away from each other. Breathe deeply. 5. Just 4 more. Sit those hips back. Lean forward. Breathe. Nice, everyone. And push. 4. Excellent work. Sit back with those hips. Breathe. Lengthen. You got it. Push to return. 3. Beautiful. Lean those hips way back in space. Touch one wall with the hips. Other wall with the crown of your head. Breathe deeply. 2, without curling or rounding your spine. Spine stays as still as you can. Easy breathe. You got it, up nice and tall. Great job. Now I'm going to take both weights to one hand. You don't have to go with adding double both weights. You can just subtract a weight instead of adding both weights to one side. You could also do, again, no weights. Now the weights are pulling me over to the side, so I've got to resist that. So as I bend my knees and lean forward, I'm trying not to let the weights pull me towards their side. Easy breathe. And stand up nice and tall. 10. Again, you can feel that weight differentiation in your body. Breathe deeply. And push up nice and tall. 9. Try and use both legs as evenly as you can. Sit back, lean forward, breathe. Push up nice and tall. 8. Sit back, lean forward. Reach out to the crown of your head, reach out for the tailbone. You got it. 7. You can also choose to bend your knees less. Totally orthodox. Breathe deeply and then return. 6. I do recommend at least a little bend so they're not completely straight. Easy breathe. And then return. 5. Again, knees are going forward. Your toes may not face forward, but those knees face generally forward. Breathe deeply. 4. Everyone's lower leg alignment can be a bit different, but you want those knees to face forward often. 3. You can choose some other thing, but today we're choosing those knees facing forward because when you walk, I want you to encourage you to think about your knees facing forward and not going off to the side one way or the other. Breathe deeply and then return. We're going to switch sides. Hit pause, take a break as you need to. Again, the weights are pulling you, so you have to resist the pull of the weights. Same exercise. Give your knees a bend, hips sit back, you lean forward. Keep your body between your legs as evenly as you can. 10. You're going to find that you're going to want to shift over to one side. That's natural. 9. You can use the wall here as well, right? Use it in front of you or next to you. Easy breathe. Take your time. Push to grow tall. 8. Again, hips sit back. You lean forward. Breathe. Push. 7. Good, everyone. Hips sit back. You lean forward. Breathe. And push. 6. Just 5 more to go here. You can do this. Take a break as you need to. Even to both legs here. Soles of the feet, especially the heel bone. 5. Staying connected to the ground. Easy breathe. Control. The more surface area you have with your foot in the floor. 4. The more supportive your balance will be. More stable. Easy breathe. Gentle. Return. 3. It's not wrong to do other ways. That's just a different exercise. Breathe deeply. 2. But I find people have a real hard time keeping their whole foot on the floor at all times when they can. 1. Excellent work. You're going to put the weights down. Go back to our wall, countertop, or piece of furniture. We're going to start in that same incline, but now going to be on one leg. All right, so it's the same exercise, but now it's on one leg. I recommend this foot that's in the air is behind you. If it's forward, it's hard to get that lower back to round. So if that thigh bone's in front of you, when the hips go back, most likely your lower back is going to round, and that's not this exercise. Get the leg behind you so you can reach your tailbone to the sky like a duck's tail. Yeah, that's right. 8. Sit back, lean back, breathe deeply. Control. 7. Now you want to make sure that knee goes forward to the wall. It might go side to side a bit as it goes forward, but it goes mostly forward. 6. Those toes may not face forward. They're facing as far forward as they can, but it's more about that knee alignment. Breathe deeply. 5. Control. Easy. Breathe deeply. Gentle. Hips sink back and return. 4. If it's too uncomfortable, then by all means, make yourself more comfortable on your standing leg. So if 3, your knee is facing forward, but your toes are facing in towards the leg, that can be not the best feeling. Feel free to rotate your knee out to the side a little bit to get those toes to face a bit more forward. That'll be more comfortable. Breathe deeply, but that's a really rare case. And then reverse, other leg. Now remember, this leg that's off the floor can be tapping the floor or stay on the floor. That's fine, but it's mostly behind you. 10, right? Because that will help your spine not round when you send those hips back. Breathe deeply. 9. As you bend, I'll show you from the side, make sure the hip is not going out to the side either. Breathe deeply. 8. So I'm not twisting the hips as I bend. This leg goes back behind. 7. It's like this leg that's in the air is on a rail that tracks back in space and doesn't cross over behind me. 6. It's not wrong, just a different exercise. Lean forward, sit back, knee tracks forward. 5. Hip does not go out to the side, it goes back, not to the side. And then forward. 4. 3 more, please. Use the wall, totally fine. Breathe deeply. 3, I forgot to mention you can use the wall to your side of the wall, it doesn't be in front of you. Just gives a nice shoulder lengthening stretch to have the wall in front of you. 2, one more time. Again, easy, bend, control. You got it. And you guessed it. We're going to pick up those 5-pound weights here. Feel free to use a lighter weight. Now, the leg in the air can be behind you, on the floor or off, but try and get it back there. Here we go, on that one leg. Hips sit back, bend the standing leg, lean forward, push to stand tall, 10. Feel free to tap the floor. Feel free to be next to a wall to have more support. Sit back, lean forward, push up nice and tall, 9. Good work there, take your time. Shoulders stay wide. So as you're going forward, the weights are encouraging your spine to round. You have to resist the gravity and the weights, 8. And think about your shoulder blades being attached to your back, but also the edges of your shoulders pointing out wide. 7, as if you're wearing epaulettes that go out to opposing walls eternally. Breathe deeply. Take your time. 4, easy. Sit back, lean forward. Make sure this leg in the air does not cross behind. Breathe deeply. 3, take a break as you need to. Sit back, lean forward. Everyone take your focus with you. Push. 2, great job. Sit back, lean. Takes a lot of practice. And then push up nice and tall, other leg. Again, you are bending your leg a little bit. Try not to keep it perfectly straight. It does bend a bit. Breathe deeply. You can bend it a lot more if that feels better for you, but it at least bends a little bit. Hips go back, lean forward, the leg in the air. Stays in line with the same side hip. 8. It's going to want to cross behind, but that tends to encourage the pelvis to twist. And that's just a different exercise. 7. Send the hips back in space, not twisting. Lean forward to the crown of your head. We have 5 more to go. Sit back, gently, breathe, and push up nice and tall. 5, great job there. Use your balance. Take your time, easy. Balance takes practice. 4, and you can feel how strengthening it is to focus on one leg at a time. Breathe deep. I think when most people think of strength, 3, they think of moving heavier weights, and the weights are the focus, and not their balance, not their coordination. Breathe deeply. 2, but your balance and coordination are essential for your weightlifting capacity. Breathe deeply. Easy. 1, excellent work. Now I'm going to put both weights in the opposite arm of standing leg. You don't have to. You can just go down to one weight or no weight, right? And again, keep the leg behind, that's in the air behind you, and don't let it cross. Sit back, lean forward, reach out to the crown of your head, push up nice and tall. Ooh, I can really feel that. The weights are really pulling me, so it's hard to get that hip to not go out to the side. Easy. Sit back, breathe deep. So strengthening. 9, the weight doesn't feel good, use a lighter weight. Take your time. Use the wall, use a piece of furniture, use a staff. Easy, breathe, gentle, control. Breathe deeply, 8. And don't be afraid of the shaking of the leg if it's going side to side, but mostly forward. That's normal. Breathe deeply. 7, control. To really strengthen the exercise for your hip and whole body, as you can feel. Breathe deeply. Control. 6, doesn't take up a lot of space, doesn't take up a lot of, you could lift a, water bottle. That's fine. 5, your weight can be anything. Easy. Bend, sit back, lean forward. Push up nice and tall. 4, 3 more here. Great job. Sit back, lean forward, breathe. Yes. Push. 3. Woo! 2 more. Sit back, lean forward, control. Push up nice and tall. 2, one more time. Sit back, lean forward, control. Nice and tall. Take a break if you need to. I'm switching the leg, I'm switching the arm, right? So again, the weights are pulling me and they're going to push the opposite side hip of the weights or the same side hip that you're sitting on out to the side. So it's challenging. Send the hip back in space, the knee goes forward. Foot behind you can be on the floor. 9, again, if you're tapping the floor, make sure you're not tapping to one side or the other. It's behind the hip directly as much as you can. 8. Look down to the floor a bit as you lean your body forward. Breathe. 7. Realize that the weights and gravity are pulling the shoulder and your body forward. So you have to resist that. Breathe deeply. 6. Take your time. 5 more. Reach your tailbone back behind you. Breathe deeply. Good, everyone. 5. 4 more. Sit back. Lean forward. Control. Push up nice and tall. 4. Ooh, the balance is so enriching. Bend. Breathe deeply. Control. And push. 3. So people would look at this and think it's a balance exercise. And yes, it is, but it's also a strengthening exercise. Easy, breathe. 2. People have an interesting concept of what they think strength is. They tend to remove it like balance and coordination out of strength. You actually need a lot of balance and coordination to lift heavier and heavier objects, right? It just takes practice. Having your foot off the floor is harder, and yes, while in life, you don't necessarily do this exact motion, but you may have more weight to your front leg than back leg as you reach to pick something down, and here's the exercise right there, right? Now I have the weights in the same side leg that I'm standing on, right? The weights are pulling me, so it's going to encourage me to twist, right? It's pointing, so it's going to push the outside, the leg in the air, that hip out. So watch out for that. So as I go back, that leg that's behind me, it's going to want to go out to the side a bit because I'm going to, the weights encourage me to twist. So watch out for that. 10. Take your time. Sit back, lean forward, control, look down, stand up tall. 9. Use that floor as you need to. It's not wrong to tap the floor. Easy breathe. You're not making an exercise video, hey, unlike me, right? I'm tapping on the floor and it's fine. Easy. Breathe. Gentle. 7. Again, give that standing knee at least a little bend. Control. That soft bend. 6 will give you more play with the joints, right? If that knee is locked, it's harder because you only have the hip and ankle and foot then to adjust for balance. 4, if that knee is bending, then you have more joints to navigate, which is actually more supportive. You would think it'd be less supportive. 3, but you can think of your leg being a skyscraper. If the skyscraper has some movement in the middle, it's much stronger. 2, if it's rigid, it's much easier to topple down. Again, you think of it like that. Easy breathe. And then return, yeah, other side. Really good job. Again, standing knees forward. Hip goes back in space. Look to the floor, and then stand up nice and tall, 10. You can always bend your knee a little less and give it a different feeling as long as you're trying to not round your lower back there, 9. But it is bending again just a little bit. Keep this shoulder away from gravity. Hey, resist gravity, I should say. So as you get forward, this weight and gravity are pulling the shoulder forward. You've got to resist that. Breathe deeply. 7. Take your focus with you. So you're going to look towards the floor, wherever your chest is facing, with your eyes face. Breathe deeply. 6. That helps your neck stay stable. Still. Breathe deeply. 5. And that stillness will help you, again, feel what other parts of your spine are staying still or aren't staying still. 4, right? You want your neck and your lower back to be still in this exercise. That's the goal. Breathe deeply. 3, creating strength through keeping your spine really still and changing the relationship of the soft tissue fibers to gravity. 2 is really strengthening. One more time. Control, bending. You did really well. Now, it's time for the overhead press. I'll turn to face this way because I've not done that yet. All right. Pick a leg, weights either hand. We're going to start hands to shoulders, arms to the sky. Now, as I bend my standing leg, weights come down. I'm going to lean forward. The focus is not touching the floor, right? It's just this exact same thing we've been working on. Push the weights up 10. The 5 pounds don't feel good, don't use them. Sit back, lean forward, push and drive up. 9, control nice and tall. Sit back, lean forward, reach out to the crown of your head. Push and drop up. 8, fantastic. Sit back, lean forward. The foot can tap the floor there. Breathe deeply. 7, whoo, such a good time. Bend the elbows, bend the legs, sit back, lean forward, breathe. It just takes practice. 6, your body moving takes practice, and what a wonderful thing. Breathe deeply, control. 5, so strengthening, so nourishing to challenge yourself to say, can my body move as I'd like it to? Breathe deeply. 4, as much as possible. Now, not everyone's going to be able to do the same thing. Not everyone's going to look the same, given the same parameters. 3, you're going to do your best to meet the parameters that work for your body. Breathe deeply. Push and nice and tall. 2, one more time. Bend the knee. Hips go back. You lean forward. Look down. Up. Nice and tall. 1, I'm going to do the other leg. Here we go. Bend your center leg and elbows. Sit back. Lean forward. The knee goes forward. Push up. Nice and tall. 10. Again, bend, sit back. And here's where warming up our shoulders is really helpful now, because we already had this motion of arms reaching overhead. We just had it at the sitting back part, whereas now, 7, we have it at the standing part. Control, sit back, lean forward. The foot is behind the hip. Breathe deeply. 6, take your break. It's okay. Make sure you keep breathing. Sit back and lean forward. Push and drive. 5, excellent work, everyone. Take your time. Sit back, lean forward, control. Nice. Push. 4, excellent work here. Sit back, lean, breathe. Very nice, everyone. 3, 2 more. Sit back, lean forward, control. Make sure the shoulders are resisting gravity. 2, so as you sit back and lean, shoulders don't go forward, they go wide to opposing walls. You got it. 1, and rest. Excellent work. That was really, really great. Let's take a little moment to do a little counter stretch. We're going to lay on our back. I know you thought I'd never ask. If you have a pillow or a towel there, feel free to take it behind your head. I have some pads that I'm going to use here. you'll be more comfortable to your neck and shoulder girdle with your little head having just a little bit of support for most people. Now, keep your lower back very still like we're practicing. 2 knees bent, feet down. Pick up 1 bent knee in the air. That kneecap on the ceiling makes half a circle. Inhale. Complete the circle. 10. Take your time. Half a circle. Inhale. Complete the circle. 9. Easy. Control. And this may not feel like it's a counter movement, but it really is. Breathe deeply. 7. Because now we're encouraging the front of the hip. Breathe deeply. 6. To regain a focus. 5. Whereas standing, it was the whole hip, and you may have really felt the back and side of the hip. 4. Easy. Control. Keep your lower back as still as you can. 3. Try not to rock the hips one way or the other. Breathe deeply. 2. One more time. Control. Half a circle. Complete the circle. Now reverse. The knee makes the opposing circle on the ceiling. Easy. Breathe. 10. Hips try not to rock. You can take your hands to your hip bones. 9. See if there's movement there. Now you're going to feel soft tissue and suno between your fingers and your hip bones. 8. Moving, and that's different than the hip bones themselves moving. 7. The hip bones are large knuckle-like bones. 6. That shouldn't be moving too much. Easy, they stay still. Things between your fingers and those knuckle-like bones. 5. Moving is fine. Bones moving, not fine. 4. Not the goal. I shouldn't say it's not fine. It's just not the goal of this particular exercise. 3. Because as you know, we're just doing specific exercises. 2. And we're doing some exercises one way and not others, and then return. I'm trying to encourage people to think that exercise is movement, and we're practicing these specific movements. These are the parameters. That doesn't mean other movements are wrong. That's just a different exercise from what we're focusing on currently. Breathe deeply. Gentle 9. Other leg now, just making a circle on the ceiling with that kneecap. Breathe deeply. 8. Keeping your body as still as you can. Half a circle. Complete the circle. 7. Shoulders wide apart to opposing walls. Breathe deeply. 6. Keep your lower back as still as you can. Breathe deeply. Easy. 5. Nice work, everyone. Control. Breathe deeply. 4. Think of width across the collarbones. Breathe deeply. You'll find there tends to be a lot of tension being in your shoulder blade. Your shoulders come forward towards your chin and breastbone. Try and release that tension there too as much as you can, just by first acknowledging it and then saying, reverse the circle, can I release that tension there? Breathe. 10. Can I make more contact with the back of my shoulder to the floor without pinching my shoulders to the floor behind you? 9. Take your time, trying to relax them. Breathe deeply. 8. It's hard to get rid of tension with more tension. 7, right? If you have tension and stress, the most efficient way to address it is to try and think of the opposite, which is ease and release. 6, not more tension to pull it the other way around. Breathe deeply. 5, take your time. Small little arch to your lower back. 4, try and keep your body very still. Control. Breathe deeply. 3, excellent work, everyone. Nice job there. Breathe deeply. 2, one more time. Easy, breathe. 1, 2 feet down, arms wide apart. Let your knees and hips twist to one side. As far as you have comfort, feet stay where they were on the floor, just rocking out of the side of your feet. And then return. Feet stay where they are, just let them rock and rotate. Breathe deeply. You got it. Bring it back one more each way. Twist and rotate. Really good job. Bring it back. Twist and rotate. You got it. Bring it back. And you're all done. Congratulations. So I hope you really enjoyed that sense of how to do a deadlift and then a little bit of a counter movement to help the hip be balanced. My name is Eric. This is Nucleus Strength. I look forward to getting stronger with you in the future. You're always in good health. Take care.